Welcome back to the Pulse League of Legends edition. We just got done covering industry updates and team moves. Now we're going to get into tournament recaps, man. MLG, IEM, LCS Europe, Week 5. So much to cover. First off, let's talk about the IEM World Championship. Took place March 6th through the 9th in Hanover, Germany. CJ Entus Blaze defeated CJ Entus Frost 3-1, taking home $50,000, $25,000 for second place for Frost. This means CJ Entus took home a total of $75,000. Now, a year ago, these two teams were making headway in the world of League of Legends, but they were under Zubu. Now under CJ Entus, they're continuing to be so dominant in the competitive scene, and we saw that dominance a year ago at the MLG Arena, Dan.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't even that long ago when these teams were relatively obscure unless you followed the Asian scene, because everyone was still caught up in all the hype of the North American, European teams. They came onto the scene, showed everybody what's up at MLG, but that wasn't what happened this pack week in Clutch. Another Korean team was there showing the ropes. Let's talk about MLG and get into the highlight reel starting now. The MLG Winter Championships was broken up into 3 tournaments. One of the 3, the Summer Promotion Qualifier, featured 4 teams from online with a $30,000 prize pool. The qualifier is restricted to non-LCS teams only. The bracket was fairly straightforward as both Cloud9 and Velocity took out their opponents, the B teams from Curse and Dignitas, in decisive 2-0 fashion. But behind the great play of balls, Cloud9 stomped Velocity in the finals 2-0, earning themselves a chance to take one of the summer season spots of an NALCS team. Let's move on to the LCS matches that took throughout the weekend on Dallas. Let's starting after Dignitas went on a 10-game win streak in the first week. Dignitas head into the Week 5 of the MLG Winter Championships in first place. That was all about to change as Dignitas looked like their Week 1 counterparts in their match against Complexity. Laudamoris was able to completely dominate the early game with his jungle Cho'Gath with early double kills and snowballing his advantage to bully the team fight. Dignitas was supposed to look hot coming into this, but Complexity picked up a much-needed win as they moved from last place to 7th, surpassing Good Game University. That wouldn't be the end of Dignitas' struggle as they dropped an additional game to another bottom 3 team, Vulcan. Zuna and ManCloud came up huge as Vulcan employed a heavy dive composition to shut down Dignitas for good. After all was said and done, Dignitas, the highest ranked team going into Week 5, finished 1-2 over the weekend and lost their #1 spot. Vulcan wasn't done making moves just yet, as they matched up against a fragmented team, Marn. Marn had to bring in last-minute subs to replace Echo, who was suffering from illness and could not play his matches. Marn was clearly outmatched in the bottom lane as there was virtually nothing Marn could do to stop a fed Zuna. Vulcan took this game and went 2-1 at MLG, improving to the 5th place in LCS, taking that spot away from Marn. Marn's uphill battle continued as they had to finish the weekend facing against a red-hot Curse. Voyboy, Night Jackie, and Cop combined for 15 kills and 0 deaths. Needless to say, Marn's play was in shambles as Curse cruised to an easy victory. The loss has sent ripples in the underdog team as the owner, Marn himself, has announced that there will be shuffles made in the upcoming weeks. Now sure, everyone expected Curse to roll over the bottom dwellers, but how would they fare against CLG, who made a quick roster swap for the weekend? Link was moved to the top lane as GG made a comeback and went mid, a role which he was once considered the best player in the world. However, Voyboy came up big with immaculate Elise play, shutting down Link in lane, and the rest of the Counterlogic crew with non-stop aggression. Great combination set up by Saint Vicious all game long. With Curse firing on all cannons, it was up to TSM to step up to the challenge. TSM came in solid at the champ select screen as they target banned Elise and Akali, but Voyboy would not be denied. Check out this team fight as Voyboy gets 12 kills before the 30-minute mark for the Voyman. Curse looked absolutely unstoppable throughout the whole tournament as double kills would line up for both Voyboy and Cop. Cop, the league leader of kill-death assist ratio at 17, padded his insane stats with further solid Cogmaw play. Curse would wrap up the first half of spring season just like they began it, 3-0 on the week and ranked #1 at LCS. Curse didn't look contested, especially considering St. Vicious was able to get early ganks and really shut down the entire lanes for CLG. CLG would end the tournament 1-2 for the weekend. Now this was all considering the records for LCS. There was also a third tournament happening, Clutch, on the other side. the International Exhibition, an invite tournament based off the best performing teams per region. 1 European, 1 Korean, and 2 North American based off of recent performances in leagues. The first rounds fared poorly for the North Americans. After dropping game number 1, things didn't look too bad for Curse in game 2 until, well, they experienced Korean teamwork. Saints heads up a big play on Ryu, but Ryu saves himself with a perfectly placed Orianna ultimate. Curse then tries to refocus their efforts onto score, but Mafa catches 3 members and a Sona ultimate, then leaving Cobb extremely vulnerable for Insect to finish him off. Curse gets completely 5-0 aced as they drop the series 0-2 under crushing, brilliant execution from KT Rolster B. This would set up a classic matchup that we've seen many times as Gambit Gaming rolled over Dignitas easily 2-0 and would face off against the seemingly unpenetrable Asian team in KT Rolster B. The series was an epic battle as Ryu and Alex Ich both performed out of their minds. We head to a critical moment in game number 3 as Gambit has the lead going into the 34th minute mark. Gambit Gaming moves for a Baron play, but Insect, seeing the play ahead of time, stalls for as much time as possible, barely allowing Someday to intervene with his Shen. Gambit gets disorganized, and Baron manages to hit some low health targets, giving KT Rolster the lead in gold and allowing KT Rolster to secure the Baron. From there, the Korean team would push their advantage by split pushing the towers and completely shutting down any ability for Gambit to make a comeback. Gambit had to rally something. They managed to gather and muster one last battle, but it was too late as KT Rolster B's momentum would not be halted.
He's taking so much damage going for it. They're going to go all in right here. Luluo comes by as well. Who will it be onto? Insect taking a lot of damage. Ryu goes down first. The Shen has shown up by now. Score still getting dropped low, but has not fallen and still has GA. Now Darien dropped low, must run away from this one. Sunday gets the kill back onto him. They've picked up 1 so far. They are onto Score. He's getting dropped lower and lower. Force the GA proc, but Getcha is in the middle of the team. Mafa picks that one up. Mafa repels back into the air. Edward forced to run away. Score is on a wonderful place right now. He is getting kill after kill. Only one person has done.
KT Rolster takes the championship as well as $10,000 on the backs of phenomenal play from Someday, Insect, and Ryu. Regardless of the result, Gambit also showed all-inspiring play as once again Diamond puts on a masterful performance with an unusual jungler. Check out all the footage and coverage at MajorLeagueGaming.com, especially this series between Gambit and KT Rolster, one of my favorites in the past few months of memory. And this covers all of the standings from the past week of LCS play. I can't wait for week 6. It's so weird how in the end, in the middle of the season, Curse still remains on top, even though it seemed like for a while they were beginning to drop off clutch.
What an amazing weekend League of Legends had at Dallas. That KT Rolster match is phenomenal, and it blows my mind to see how well these players can perform in almost impossible scenarios. But that's why they're the pros, and that's why we love to watch this. This is what esports is all about.